If I had known Auntie Denise was about to snatch the mic like God himself handed it to her, I would have walked into that dinner with a whole different kind of patience. I should have known the night was sliding downhill the moment his mother leaned back in her chair, folded her thin arms, and said, "Your family just lacks refinement." She said it like she was commenting on the weather, while the waiter set down plates of salmon that looked as tired as I suddenly felt. The restaurant smelled like lemon butter and old money, the kind of place with white tablecloths and waiters who whisper. And there I was, sitting across from a woman who had never liked me, but finally found the nerve to say it straight. My fork froze halfway to my mouth. My fiancé, Devin, cleared his throat, but it was that weak little throat clear men do when they know their mama's wrong, but also know they don't have the backbone to stop her. His mother didn't even look at him. She just kept staring at me with that tight, polite smile she always used like a shield. What exactly does that mean? I asked. My voice sounded calm, almost too calm, like that moment right before a pot boils over. She dabbed her mouth with her napkin. I just mean they're loud. Very casual people, not really aligned with the image our family maintains. My family, loud, casual, like we were a discount version of humanity. I felt my face getting hot, the kind of flush that wasn't anger yet, but embarrassment. The kind that hits you first, soft and humiliating. I thought about my mom, who'd worked double shifts most of her life. My stepdad, who made jokes corny enough to make the whole table groan, but laugh anyway. My Auntie Denise, who taught me how to braid my hair in the kitchen while gospel music blasted on Saturday mornings. Casual? Loud? Unrefined? Devin whispered, "Ma, come on." But she ignored him again. It's just something to consider before merging families. Presentation matters. I didn't say anything. Not because I didn't have words. Oh, I had words, but because something in me cracked a little. It was supposed to be a simple dinner. A chance for our families to get closer before the engagement party that weekend. But instead, his mother chose violence with a side of lemon butter. I swallowed hard, set my fork down, and said quietly, "I think I'm going home." Devin reached for my hand, but I pulled away. I didn't want him touching me while I was trying not to cry. The moment I stepped outside, the cool night air slapped me like a wake-up call. The restaurant's windows glowed behind me, flickering reflections of people pretending to have perfect lives. My phone lit up before I even had time to call an Uber. It was Auntie Denise. She never called this late unless somebody was dead or somebody was cutting up. I answered, trying to keep my voice steady. "Hey, Auntie." "Baby, you all right?" she said. No greeting, no preamble. Just straight-up intuition. The way black aunties have that secret radar for when your spirit gets bruised. "I'm fine," I lied. She clicked her tongue. "Don't play in my face." "What happened?" I exhaled slowly. "We just had dinner with Devin's mom." "Oh, Lord," she murmured. "Say less." That woman had only met my aunt twice, but somehow they had beef like they'd known each other since middle school. Not loud beef, quiet beef. Black women at church-level beef. The kind where they politely compliment each other's jewelry while mentally measuring each other for filth. Auntie sighed. "Well, listen. Everybody's getting together tomorrow at your mama's house to go over plans for the engagement party. Don't you dare skip it." "I don't know, Auntie." "You're coming," she insisted. "Trust me. You gotta want to be there. And baby," her voice dropped into that Auntie tone that feels like both shade and love. "Wear something nice. Something that says, 'I belong here,' just in case somebody gets confused." Even through my frustration, I snorted a laugh. Auntie humor always came with seasoning. No measurements, just vibes. When I finally got home, the apartment was dim, except for the soft lamp I'd accidentally left on that morning. My favorite plant was leaning to the side, like it had lived through the same kind of day I had. I slipped off my heels, tossed my purse on the couch, and leaned my head back. My chest felt tight. Not heartbreak tight. More like disappointment wrapped in exhaustion. I thought about all the little ways Devin's mom had been poking at me since the beginning. Asking if my curls were natural, if my family knew how to act at formal events, if my job paid enough to keep up with Devin's lifestyle. Micro stings that I brushed off because I loved her son and figured time would fix things. But tonight wasn't a sting. It was a slap dressed like etiquette. I showered, letting the hot water beat on my shoulders, rinsing away makeup and irritation. I tied my hair in my satin scarf, moisturized with shea butter because my skin deserved softness even when the world didn't, and curled up on the couch with a blanket. I tried to sleep, but my mind replayed the whole dinner like a looped video. You lack refinement. My family. My people. I woke up the next morning already tired. My group chat with my cousins was buzzing, memes, jokes, screenshots, somebody dragging their baby daddy. Normal life. But I wasn't in the mood. I just sent a quick morning y'all and left it alone. The engagement planning meeting was at 2 p.m. at my mom's house. I got dressed slowly, choosing a soft brown dress that hugged me just right without trying too hard. I added gold hoop earrings, the medium ones, not the big ones my mama called audacity hoops. A touch of lip gloss, a little mascara, and I just looked like me. Good enough. Driving to my mama's house, I felt that familiar mix of comfort and nerves. Comfort because it was home. Nerves because the whole family would be there, and they always showed love, but also never missed a chance to comment on whatever mess was brewing. As soon as I walked in, the smell of baked chicken and cornbread hit me, wrapping around me like a warm hug. Family voices floated from the living room. Laughter, fussing, kids arguing over the remote. My little cousin Malik zipped past me holding a bag of hot Cheetos, like it was evidence, and he was fleeing the scene. Hey, baby, Mama called from the kitchen. You on time? Lord, miracle's still happening. I rolled my eyes playfully and kissed her cheek. Hi, Ma. Auntie Denise was standing at the counter slicing sweet potatoes with the precision of someone who'd survived decades of Thanksgiving battles. She looked me up and down slowly, then nodded. Good. You look blessed and unbothered. I smiled weakly, trying to. She leaned in closer. Is that woman coming today? Devin said she might, I whispered. Auntie smirked. Well, let the games begin. That's the thing about black aunties. They don't need to raise their voice to sound like they're about to flip a table. They just have a way of making a sentence feel like foreshadowing. People trickled in over the next hour. My uncles, who treated my mama's grill like it required federal clearance. My cousins, who judged everything with their eyebrows. My grandmother, who always arrived last like Beyoncé entering a stage. The house started to feel full and warm. Then Devin walked in. His smile was tight, nervous, and behind him, like a storm cloud wearing pearls, came his mother. The room shifted. Not loudly, just that subtle collective tightening when unfamiliar energy enters a black household. Eyes flicked. Aunties glanced at each other. My Uncle Rodney whispered, "Uh-oh," under his breath like he was narrating a football game. His mother stepped forward. "Hello, everyone," she said, smiling that same cold smile she'd served me the night before. My mama, being raised right, greeted her politely. "Welcome, come on in. Fix you a plate if you're hungry." "Oh, I don't eat heavy foods in the afternoon," she replied, nose slightly wrinkled. Auntie Denise muttered, "Then she gone starve today," not quite under her breath. The meeting eventually gathered in the living room. Folks were perched on couches, folding chairs, the armrest. Black families know how to make seating work. Devin sat beside me, his knee bouncing nervously. Mama started. "All right, let's talk through the engagement party. We wanted to reflect both families." His mother immediately tilted her head. "Actually, I'm hoping we can elevate things from the usual style." A hush fell. A quiet rolled through the auntie section like background vocals of judgment. Mama blinked slowly, meaning, "Well, I've noticed your family gatherings tend to be very lively," she said. "Lots of noise. Lots of flavor. Flavor." I swear I saw Auntie Denise's soul leave her body and come back just to frown harder. My voice came out before I even meant for it to. "Ma'am, are you trying to say something?" She folded her hands. "Only that my son was raised with a certain standard, and it's important he marries into a family that reflects that." The room went still. I felt people's eyes shift to me, then to her, then to Devin, who suddenly found the hardwood floor extremely interesting. Auntie Denise set her sweet potato knife down very gently on the coffee table, the metal clinking like the opening note of a church organ. She stood up, smoothed her blouse, and walked over to the little wireless mic we used for family karaoke. She flipped it on. Her voice boomed. Testing, testing. It works. The whole room lost it for a second, muffled laughs bubbling, because black families always got humor even in crisis. Then she turned to Devon's mother. Since you seem confused, Auntie said, microphone in hand like she was about to deliver a sermon, let me explain something very clearly. My heart pounded. Even Grandma sat up straighter like she didn't want to miss a word. Auntie pointed the mic at herself. This family, the one you keep insulting, we are loud because we lived through enough silence. We're flavorful because God didn't put us on this earth to be bland. And we are unrefined only to people who confuse money with class. A chorus of soft MMM and say that rose from the cousins. Devon's mother stiffened. I didn't mean to offend. Yes, you did, Auntie cut in. And baby, you did it boldly. But let me tell you something else. This girl right here, she motioned toward me. She comes from people who love her loud, protect her loud, and show up loud. If that's too much for you, maybe you're the one who needs refinement. The room crackled with that electric silence that comes right before judgment is delivered. But Auntie wasn't done. And one more thing, she added. If you can't respect her family, you don't respect her. Which means you don't deserve a place at this table. People gasped softly, like they'd just witnessed a spiritual read. Devon finally spoke up, voice shaky. Ma, she's right. His mother looked at him like he'd betrayed her bloodline. You're taking their side? He swallowed. I'm taking my fiancé's side. The room shifted again, this time with something like hope. Even I felt my breath loosen a little. His mother's face hardened. I see. Well, maybe this engagement needs reevaluating. She grabbed her purse and marched toward the door, heels clicking sharp against the floor. The door slammed behind her. And just like that, the house fell into a stunned, echoing quiet. Everyone looked at me. Auntie clicked off the mic, set it down, and said, well, who wants peach cobbler? Laughter erupted, shaky, relieved, knowing laughter. Black humor doing what it always does, breaking tension like a pressure valve. But I didn't laugh, because deep in my chest, something was shifting. Something I couldn't name yet. Something that was going to change everything. I wish I could tell you I walked out of that room feeling powerful, like Auntie's speech wrapped me in armor. But the truth is, as everyone dug into cobbler and tried to shift the energy back to normal, I felt this slow, heavy ache settling in my chest. Like something invisible had cracked and the pieces didn't know where to fall yet. Devon stayed close to me, hovering like he wasn't sure if I wanted comfort or space. I didn't know either. I just knew that a line had been crossed. No, not crossed, stomped on. And even though Auntie lit that woman up beautifully, a part of me wondered what it meant for our future. When the house finally started emptying out, Grandma motioned me over with her finger, the same way she did when I was little and trying to sneak extra cookies. Her eyes, sharp, soft, always knowing, studied my face. Come sit with me, she said. We sat on the couch. The living room was quieter now. Only a few plates clinking in the kitchen as Mama and Auntie cleaned up. Devon stood awkwardly near the doorway, like a student waiting for a parent-teacher conference he didn't want to attend. Grandma reached for my hand. You all right? I shrugged. I don't know. She nodded slowly, like she understood more than I said. That boy loves you. I can see it clear as day. But love is not enough if he can't set boundaries with his own mother. I felt that. Deep. Too deep. She squeezed my hand. The way she speaks to you, and about your family, that's not a small thing. That's the root of many storms. I blinked back tears. I don't want a storm, Grandma. She hummed softly. Nobody does. But baby, storms come anyway. The question is, do you have someone who will hold the umbrella with you? Or someone who will run inside and leave you in the rain? Her metaphors always hit like scripture. Before I could respond, Devon came over and cleared his throat. Can we talk? Grandma gave me a look that said go on, and I followed him to the front porch. It was cool outside. That early evening breeze that smells like cut grass and somebody's grill starting up a few houses down. My heart was still doing that shaky thing, almost steady but not quite. He leaned against the railing. I'm sorry. I know, I said. But sorry doesn't undo what she said. He rubbed his forehead with both hands. I didn't think she'd go that far. I thought she'd get better with time. Devin, I said, she doesn't even see that she's wrong. That's the problem. He nodded, staring at the driveway like it had answers. I told her she was out of line. After the fact, I murmured. Silence stretched between us, heavy and honest. Then he said quietly, "Do you still want to marry me?" My stomach tightened. Not because I didn't love him, I did. But love wasn't the issue anymore. It was everything around it. I want a marriage where my family is respected, I said. Where I'm respected. Where your mother isn't out here acting like she's auditioning for a villain role. He huffed a sad laugh. I know. I'm trying. I looked at him carefully. Trying isn't the same as doing. His shoulders slumped. For a moment, I thought that was it, that we were about to break up on my mama's porch while the streetlights flickered on. But then he reached for my hand, tentative, almost shy. I'll fix this. I don't know how yet, but I promise you, I'm not losing you because of her. And the ridiculous part? I believed him, even though my trust felt bruised. We hugged, not the passionate movie kind, just a tired, quiet hold that said we were both scared of what came next. When he left, Auntie Denise came outside wiping her hands on a dish towel. So, she said, did he grovel appropriately? I rolled my eyes. Auntie. She grinned. What? I need to know if I wasted my dramatic moment. I had a whole monologue ready. I laughed despite myself, leaning my head on her shoulder. Thank you. You're welcome, baby. And listen, don't let that woman's bitterness make you doubt your worth. Some folks ain't happy unless they're tearing down someone else's joy. I sighed. It's just a lot. She kissed the top of my head. It's gonna get handled, one way or another. But I didn't know then how messy handled would become. The next few days were chaos. Devin's mother declined every attempt at conversation. Blocked me. Blocked my mama. Sent Devin long dramatic texts about family standards and expectations. He kept trying to mediate, running himself ragged between love and loyalty. Then, just when things started to cool down, Mama got a call. His mother had reached out to the engagement venue and tried to change the guest list. She removed my cousins. She removed Auntie Denise. She even removed my grandmother. Mama called me so fast, she didn't even say hello. You need to get over here, she said, voice shaking. I drove over, hands gripping the steering wheel, heart pounding like I'd sprinted the whole way. When I walked in, Mama was pacing the kitchen. Auntie was standing still with her arms crossed, the calm before the storm version of herself. Tell her, Mama demanded. Auntie looked at me and said in a low voice, that woman tried to erase your whole side of the family from your own engagement party. I blinked. What? She removed everybody but your mama, Auntie continued. And only because she needed the mother of the bride present. Girl, she said it like an obligation. My stomach churned. And, Mama added, slapping a paper on the table, she told the venue to call her for all final decisions. Not you. Not Devin. Her. I felt the world tilt slightly. But the real blow came when Mama said, Baby, she told the coordinator that your family was not suitable for a high-end celebration. Something inside me snapped clean. I grabbed my phone and called Devin. No greeting, no warm-up. Did you know about this? His voice came out weary. About what? Your mother removing my entire family from our guest list. Silence. Dev. I didn't know she did that, he cut in quickly. I swear. I knew she was upset, but I didn't think she'd interfere with the event. I squeezed my eyes shut. This is sabotage. No, it's her trying to control everything, he said helplessly. I'm gonna fix it. You keep saying that, I whispered, but she keeps getting worse. He exhaled shakily. Do you still want to move forward with the party? I didn't answer right away. I was too busy imagining my family, warm, loud, loving, being treated like background noise at my own celebration. No, I finally said. Not like this. Not with her involved. He went quiet and I knew he understood. We postponed the party. His mother did not take it well. And by not well, I mean she called Devin crying dramatically, accusing me of alienating her son, destroying the family, and manipulating him. Then she said the one sentence that sealed her fate. She's beneath us, Devin. Her whole family is. He told me he hung up on her. But the damage was done. That night, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning slowly. I felt this strange mix of sadness and clarity. Sadness because I knew the dream of a peaceful blending of families was dead. Clarity because now I had no doubts about who she truly was. The next morning, Grandma called me. "We're having a family meeting Saturday," she said. "My house. 5 p.m. For what?" I asked. "You'll see." Now, when an elder in a black family says you'll see, you know two things. Something is about to go down. You better wear clean clothes just in case pictures get taken afterward. Saturday came. Grandma's living room was filled. My aunts, uncles, cousins, Mama, Auntie Denise, and even my older brother who usually avoided family gatherings unless food was involved. I sat next to Grandma on the couch. She placed a small envelope in my hand. "What's this?" I asked. "A reminder," she said, "of who you come from." Everyone got quiet. Even the kids outside stopped yelling like they sensed the moment. I opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a handwritten letter. Old, slightly yellowed. My eyes skimmed the first line and froze. It was written by my grandfather, the man I barely remembered because he passed when I was young. To my granddaughter. I swallowed hard and kept reading. He wrote about watching me toddle around the house, about how I'd smile every time I saw my reflection like I already knew my worth. He wrote about the land he bought years ago for the generations coming after. Land he wanted me to inherit someday because he believed I had the heart and sense to keep the family's legacy alive. I stared at the signature at the bottom, hands trembling. "Grandma, what is this?" She smiled, slow and warm. "Your grandfather left you 10 acres down in Pine Ridge. He couldn't put it in your name then because you were a baby, but the deed transfers automatically to you on your next birthday." My next birthday. 2 months away. The room erupted. Gasps. Cheers. "Girl, what?" My cousins were Googling the land value like FBI agents. But I just sat there stunned. Grandma continued, "We wanted to wait until you were ready. But after the way that woman spoke about our family, about our worth," she shook her head. "Baby, you need to know you come from legacy. You come from people who built things. People with land, roots, history. You ain't beneath nobody." I felt tears slipping down my cheeks. Not sad tears, vindicated tears. "And we're going to announce it," Grandma added, "at the rescheduled engagement gathering. On our terms, at our location, with our traditions." Auntie Denise raised her hand. "And I'm getting the mic again. I feel called." Everyone laughed. But underneath the laughter, something shifted inside me, a rising, steady strength I hadn't felt in a long time. The day of the new engagement gathering, Devin arrived early. He looked nervous but determined. "I want to speak today too," he told me. "I need to say something to your family." My heart softened a little. People arrived in waves, hugging, complimenting outfits, arguing about who parked crooked. The smell of ribs, baked beans, and grilled corn drifted through the air. Kids ran across the yard like they were competing in the Olympics. Black joy everywhere. Then Devin's mother arrived. She came alone, wearing pearls that looked tight around her neck from all that suppressed judgment. The air shifted. She stepped onto the patio like she expected a royal welcome. Instead, people just nodded. Polite. Distant. The kind of polite that isn't really polite at all. We started the program. Mama welcomed everyone. Uncle Rodney tried to tell a joke nobody understood. Grandma gave a short blessing. Then she called me up. I stood next to her, holding the envelope. Grandma looked out at the crowd. "Today, before we celebrate this union, we want to honor where this young woman comes from." I felt Devin's mother watching me, eyes sharp. Grandma continued, "This family doesn't measure worth in money or social standing. We measure worth in love, loyalty, and legacy. And this young woman," she touched my arm, "is the heir to something special." I opened the envelope. Auntie Denise whispered loudly, "Get ready now," which made several cousins laugh. I read the letter. Slowly, clearly. Devin's mother's face fell in real time. Eyebrows sinking, lips tightening, pearls practically vibrating around her throat. Then Grandma held up the official deed. 10 acres. Paid off. Passed down with pride. Gasps. Cheers. Claps. Somebody yelled, "Come on, generational blessings." Devin stepped forward next. I want to say something too, he said. He faced my family. I haven't done enough to protect her from my mother's behavior. But that ends today. I know who I'm building my life with, and it's her, not my mother's ego. I'm committed to respecting her, supporting her, and honoring her family as my own. People nodded, murmured approval. Then he turned to his mother. Mom, if you can't treat her with respect, you won't have access to our marriage. You could have heard a hairpin fall onto the grass. His mother's jaw clenched. You're choosing them over your own family? He shook his head. I'm choosing the woman I love. And the way you've behaved? That's not family. Auntie Denise whispered loudly. Oop, because of course she did. His mother's eyes darted around, realizing she had no supporters here. None. Not even Devin. She grabbed her purse. I won't be part of this circus. Grandma smiled politely. All right then. God bless you on your way out. The laughter that bubbled afterward wasn't cruel, just relieved. She left, and for the first time since this whole mess began, I felt air fill my lungs fully. The rest of the evening was perfect. Music, dancing, jokes, plates piled too high. Kids doing TikTok dances they refused to explain. My cousins tease me about owning land now, calling me Miss Acres and Queen of Pine Ridge. But the moment that stays with me happened near the end, when Grandma hugged me tight and whispered, "See, baby? Sometimes God lets people show their behinds so you can see who deserves a seat at your table." I laughed into her shoulder. I think Auntie deserves her own show. Oh, she does, Grandma said. But don't tell her that. She'll start selling tickets. As the sun set and the yard glowed with string lights, Devin slipped his arms around me from behind. You okay? He murmured. I am now. He kissed my cheek. We're going to be all right. I promise. And for the first time, that promise felt real. Not because he said it, but because I finally believed I had the strength, the family, and the legacy to walk away if necessary. I didn't stay with him out of fear. I stayed with him because he showed up. Because he chose respect. Because my family, my loud, flavorful, unbothered family, had raised me to expect nothing less. And because Auntie Denise had already drafted an entire speech for the wedding reception, and honestly, I want the world to hear it.